Michael, welcome back to Cheltenham Town. What was it about the club that just made you want to come back here?
Well, there's quite a few things really sort of lined up. It was because obviously leaving the club that I did, I think I've said it before, the relationship I've got with the club, the affinity, the manager. So it was a big wrench to leave, but like I said, it's an opportunity to come home, an opportunity to get into first team management. It's a place that I know. Again, only having two clubs, another club that's close to my heart. So it was after some thoughts with the family and things. We thought, no, and eventually you've got to take the plunge. It's something I can hide behind other things. This has been a long-term plan for about 10 years now. So it's not just I'll go and do that. It's been the coaching badge started 10 years ago. The last 2 or 3 years of my playing career, I started looking and analysing things quite differently to what a normal player would for this moment now. So I'm looking forward to it.
And presumably you were able to put all of that to the board when interviewing for the job as well.
Yeah, the board have been great. The board have they've shown a lot of faith in what I believe I can do. They've worked hard to get the deal done as well. So they've been from a start point as a manager. They've shown real support for me.
Because when a former player returns to the Cheltenham Town club, as the line I believe goes, there is tremendous Roy of the Rovers potential here, isn't there?
Well, I don't want people to get too fixed on the fact that I played here. I like to think I got the job on merit, not just because I used to play here. I think that's the same thing happened at Burnley. I didn't get a job in the academy under the manager because good old Duffo, he played here for 400 games. I'd like to think I'm good at what I do, and I think I hopefully showed the board that, and that's up to me to prove that.
Obviously, you have been away a decade or so. You've obviously learnt a lot during that time, but how much can that and your contacts be useful as well?
Well, football is it's a small world. It's quite incestuous. So everyone knows everybody. The amount of phone calls, I didn't know I knew as many people as what I did. As in, since 4:30 like yesterday when it got announced, my phone's still buzzing every 2 minutes. So hopefully we can use the contacts, we can use the affiliation with a Premier League club, and we can and build relationships all over the place, of course.
How do you assess the mood of the playing squad that you've inherited?
Well, the session I've just watched there, good. There's a split group because there's a game as well going on now, which I'll get and watch now. But the intensity of the session was really good, and I've been speaking to Russ for the last 2 or 3 days, and I've been watching games and myself, so making my own opinion. But I think there's definitely something to work with. And
you mentioned Russ there. What happens to him and the rest of the backroom staff? Do they stay?
Yeah, they stay. I know Bucky, obviously, and we need to build relationships. Like I said, I know Russ personally. Been speaking to him for a long time. It feels like a long time, 2 or 3 days. So we've already been using that as a sounding board and building a new professional relationship rather than a playing relationship.
And you've got 28 players signed on to the first team. Is that too big a number for a League Two club? You I suppose it gives you options, doesn't it, in terms of which way you want to go, but does that have to be narrowed down a little bit?
At some point it will. I need to come in and give the players an opportunity as a clean slate for everybody. But ideally, 28 probably is too big, but I don't want to make any assumptions or any judgments until I've seen everybody. So, but yeah, 28 is too many because you've got too many unhappy campers when the team's getting named every week.
Crew on Saturday, will you have been here long enough to pick the team, or will that be a sort of joint thing between you and Russ?
Well, it'll always be, there'll be a process in place for things like that. So ultimately it'll be my team that I'm picking.